there, I'm Lara Croftberry, presenting on behalf of Shane Alday, Zoe Smolin, David Wilson, and Jasmine Wright in the spring semester of 2021 at San Jose State University in Info 261A with Jennifer Velasquez. Our topic is participatory culture in public library teen services during the COVID-19 pandemic. First, let's define participatory culture. According to Henry Jenkins, these are the 5 tenets of successful participatory programming. Relatively low barrier to engagement, strong support for sharing creations with others, informal mentorship occurs, members believe their contributions matter, and members care about others' opinions of their self and their work. In the COVID-19 pandemic, libraries were faced with unprecedented challenges in their attempts to build connections to and within communities when patrons could no longer gather physically in buildings. That in and of itself is a pretty high barrier to engagement right there. However, savvy librarians can take advantage of Web 2.0, especially smartphone apps, to utilize virtual space to make those connections. We looked at the following public library systems: the Los Angeles Public Library in California, Queens Public Library in New York, Riverside County Library System in California, and the Wigan Memorial Library in Stratham, New Hampshire, to see how they were using Web 2.0 to create participatory culture for teens during the COVID-19 pandemics, and what they might do to improve their efforts. The Los Angeles Public Library is offering a number of virtual programs during the pandemic. These include a weekly art circle, game day, Teenscape Tea Time, and Pictured, the Teen Racial Diversity Book Club. This book club embodies the tenets of participatory culture because it allows teens to create, share, and mentor each other. The Los Angeles Public Library also has a teen review section that is updated regularly. The barrier to participation is fairly high because there's no obvious way to submit a review online, but this does qualify as a successful utilization of Web 2.0 because it allows teens to create content and share it with one another and interact with the library and each other. In the Queens Public Library in New York, they offer a variety of teen programming. However, as you can see from the listings, there's no routine schedule for these programs, which is a barrier to participation for this age group and their schedules. The program they offer that conforms the most to the participatory culture tenets is their monthly open mic night. They use a virtual forum which empowers teens to interact either as performers or audience members. The Riverside County Library System has teen programs online at a couple of different branches. The Cathedral City branch offers a paint night online. It originally took place in Zoom, but it has been moved to a YouTube recording. Unfortunately, this compromises teens' ability to interact with one another in the forum. Another branch, the Palm Desert Library, launched a secret book club subscription box. However, this program does not invite interaction as well, and it was not designed with teen input. The Wildomar branch has some promising options, however, with a chess club and a virtual Scratch coding event. In both of these events, teens can interact with one another and potentially mentor one another. And they also both have meetings at regularly scheduled times. This lowers the barrier for participation immensely. The Wigan Memorial Library in Stratham, New Hampshire has a subscription box program for teens that is similar to the Riverside County Library's Secret Book Club program. However, Wigan Memorial's program includes teen input in the contents of the boxes. This program successfully embodies the elements of participatory culture in most ways. The barriers to engagement are low since the boxes are individually delivered to each household. Sign-up is readily available on the library website, along with a way to register online for a library card. Teen input is critically important in both creating the initial boxes and future ones. And a follow-up survey is provided for recipients to evaluate their box's content so that the next box delivery can be adapted accordingly. The time spent personalizing contents of boxes demonstrates the significance of teens' input and care for their opinions. In addition, the box itself becomes a way for peers to engage with other peers' creations and add their own contributions. Teens are encouraged to make their mark on the box by drawing something, adding a sticker, writing a quote, etc. The ease with which teens can access this service through both online signups and surveys is an example of Deodato's Web 2.0 active participatory framework. In addition, Web 2.0 interaction is credited with the success of the program by the teen librarian who created it. A resident of Stratham posted about her kids' boxes on her Instagram account, and the list of teen recipients skyrocketed afterward. I looked for an image of that Instagram post, but I couldn't find it, probably because it wasn't a public post. So I included this Instagram logo instead on this slide. While this program doesn't have any obvious way of having teens mentor one another, it does check off all the other boxes for participatory culture and use of Web 2.0. In conclusion, while all of these libraries are offering some level of programming that is participatory for teens during the COVID-19 pandemic, they're not meeting a lot of the tenets of participatory culture as a general rule. Even with the ubiquity of cell phones, there's a relatively high barrier to engagement for a lot of these programs. There isn't necessarily strong support for sharing creations with others, even though that opportunity should be available through a lot of Web 2.0 options. Informal mentorship is occurring in only one or two of these programs. And with all of those benchmarks not being met, it's hard to believe that in many cases the members believe their contributions matter or that they care about one another's opinions of their self and their work. Of their work. So since participatory culture is integral to building communities with libraries, there's definitely work to do in building libraries' ability to do this during the pandemic and also after the pandemic, when I'm sure that virtual interaction will continue to be a huge part of teens' lives in many ways. So it's time for libraries to begin by encouraging teens to become innovators and implementers, and shifting teen service librarians into the roles of facilitators and activators. Once that is done, the emphasis can move toward the true needs of the teen community rather than the perceived needs of the adults around them. Thank you so much for your time, and we hope you enjoyed our presentation.